Welcome, my name is DoctorPipi. This is the first tutorial for Age of Conan and I will talk about character creation. There are two things required. One, you have made an account for Age of Conan. Two, you have downloaded and updated the patcher. You can find all of this on www.ageofconan.com. So you've made your username, a password, let's log in. When you get to your account, you'll have empty slots only. I have already made a character. So basically after logging in, you have your character list. You have to choose server. If you click on an empty slot, you have a temporary saga. It is January 20, 2019. If you watch this video in the future, this temporary server might be gone, might be different. You have the back button, which will bring you back to the login screen. You have the upgrade premium button if you want to subscribe to Age of Conan. You have the settings button where you can change audio video interface, everything relating to the game. The first thing to do is to change your video options to low, medium or high depending on your hardware. The most important things are the view range, putting it as high as you can. If you have an up-to-date PC, you can put everything on high. All the view ranges in the advanced tab on high. And the particle list, enable world particles and show all particles. The last button on this screen is the Manage Account button, which will, as it says, manage your account on Age of Conan. Let's get started. Empty. You can choose from PvE and PvP. PvE is the most populated server right now. PvP is player versus player. PvE, player versus environment. We will create a character on the PvE server. But I already created a character and it does not allow me to create another character because it does only lets me create a character on the Saga server. So let's do this. Otherwise you could have clicked the create button on the lower side of the screen. After clicking create, we get into a creation screen. First thing to do, if you want, is select your character name. I will call it Test Deep 3. Then we have two sides, left and right. On the left side you can select your gender, female, male. I will go with female. Then you can select your culture. If you are free to play, only the top 3 are available. Aquilonian, Cimmerian, Stygian. The Khitan is not available. The race determines for a part how your character looks, and apart from that, the only relevance it has is where your character will end up after 20 levels, which is not the most important thing, and which special rune you will get in game after you reach 2500 achievement points. But this is not important for now. Although the most valued rune is from the Aquilonians, which is a mount increase speed rune. On the right hand side you will see the classes. There are 12 classes divided in soldiers, priests, rogues, mages. Not every culture on the left side can create every class. As you can see, these are blacked out. Only these are available for Aquilonians. Cimmerians, you get the Bear Shaman. Stygians, you get Assassin and the Mages. Let's talk about the classes. We have 3 soldier classes, 3 priest classes, 3 rogues, and 3 mages. In Age of Conan, the classes are well defined, but they are freely developable. So every class in the game can do DPS. That's something that you must understand and remember. Every class, whether you are a tank, soldier, or a healer, rogue, mage, everyone can do DPS. But apart from that, every archetype, soldier, priest, rogue, mage, have their own special abilities. Special abilities. The soldiers are tanks. The priests are healers. The rogues and mages are DPS dealers. Damage dealers. Let's talk about the soldiers. I try to be as short and clear as possible. In the first soldier, we have the Guardian. Guardian, as you can see the description, stands firm like towers in the front of combat, knocking down enemies by the score. You can look in all the descriptions yourself. I will just give a short explanation. The Guardian is like a wall. It is the most tank class in the game. You can take any hit. If you like to be a tank, if you like to play a tank that is pretty much unbeatable, choose the Guardian. The Guardian depends almost entirely on hate, although it can do a great amount of DPS if you know how to play it while tanking. The second class is the Dark Templar. The Dark Templar is a class that depends on doing DPS. The Dark Templar is more squishy than the Guardian, but nevertheless it can be a very, very good tank. Another ability of the Dark Templar is that it can leech life or leech mana, stamina, which are properties of all classes. And this class is for people who want to be, how to say, daring, bold. It's not an easy class to learn. The last tank class is the Conqueror. The Conqueror is my favorite tank class because it is the most versatile one. The Conqueror can tank like a Dark Templar or like a Guardian. Although it has no or almost no life leech, it can do great DPS, and while tanking it can also depend on hate for tanking like the Guardian. So in short, Guardian, full out tank, Dark Templar, DPS tank, more squishy, Conqueror in the middle. Most often a Conqueror is used for kiting because it has 2 incredible bubbles, one of which even heals him. Let's go to the priests. We have the Priest of Mitra, the Tempest of Set, and the Bear Shaman. The Priest of Mitra is a full out healer. You can stand still and do incredible healing with a Priest of Mitra. Apart from that, it also has a high survivability. It's a very all-round class. The Priest of Mitra is my main class and I love it. It is for people who want basics, but want to stay alive and without getting too close to combat. You can do incredible DPS on a POM as well, by the way. Tempest of Set is more DPS oriented, although it can do, if you want to, the same amount of healing as the Priest of Mitra. The Tempest of Set is more of a burst healer. That is to say, it can deliver a big amount of healing in a single bolt. The last one is the Bear Shaman, which is a melee fighter, a melee healer. The Bear Shaman is more difficult to learn. It uses combos as well as spells, and it is more engaged in combat because you have to be close to the enemy. It uses manifestations. It has beautiful animations around him, if you like that. And of course the Bear Shaman can heal as much as the other two as well, if you play it well. It can also do incredible DPS. It's a fun class to play, but difficult. Then we have the Rogues. Barbarian, Assassin, Ranger. Barbarian is the most stable rogue. It needs time to build up its DPS, but when it's given, you can do a lot of DPS. If you want to play like King Conan is a barbarian, and you will get many barbaric abilities, I would say. Let's go to the Ranger. The Ranger is a ranged class, which deals melee damage. So it's the only class in the game that is focused on ranged attacks, which are melee. The Ranger is a class that likes to keep enemies at a distance and just hit them with high damage hits. The Assassin in the middle is a sneaky class. It uses daggers only, and it can do incredible damage on one target and out DPS anyone on the right boss, and if you know how to play it. Now the Rogues all have in common that they have special abilities that are unique and that you need to learn. Those abilities are unique in a sense that no other class has them. Let's go to the last category, the Mages. The Mages are casters, although the Herald of Suddely is a caster and melee. So we have the Demonologist, Herald of Suddely, Hox, and Necromancer. The Demonologist is a burst DPS class. You can do incredible damage in a short time and blast enemies out of existence. The Demonologist can summon one demon pet, which deals a little bit of damage and gives a buff. The Necromancer is a damage over time. It's focused on damage over time, although it can do big hits as well. It is well against one enemy, it is well against multiple enemies. It's an all-around class, and most important is that's the unique ability that it can summon pets. And that can, in total, when you hit maximum level, you can summon 8 pets. If you feed, you can summon 11 pets. And with extra feats and spell weaving, you can summon 15, 16, 17. There is not really a limit. There is a limit, but you will find that out yourself. The middle class is the Herald of Suddely, which is a wonderful um, melee and caster class. You can get close in combat. The main ability of the Herald of Suddely is his Hellfire Breath that does a lot of damage to anyone in front of him, and he can change into a demonic form, which gives him all kinds of special abilities. I won't go into PvP. If you want that, you must find another video, basically. So I'm gonna get the Necromancer. If you want to adjust your character for vanity purposes, you can customize your character by clicking the Customize button, and suddenly you will have a range of options. Face, eye color, hairstyle, hair color, face markings. On the left side, character sounds. The size, do you want to be thin, muscular, big, anywhere in between. The height of your character, small, big, skin color, body markings. But under, in the lower side of the screen, advanced, you can do anything you want. Okay, let's go back. And that's how you create your character. When you're ready, you enter the game. And that will conclude our first introductory tutorial for Age of Conan Unchained.